Hey, you! Before you watch this, pause the video and subscribe to SemiPro right now. What's crack-a-lackin'? Scott from SemiPro here, and today I want to go on a little bit of a rant. This isn't going to be one of my normal videos where I go on a big ol' long breakdown or analysis of a team or a player. I just want to talk about one player that I think could be the future of the NFL and absolutely has the it factor, and that is Deshaun Watson, the quarterback of the Houston Texans. My biggest fascination in sports is what it takes to win, what kind of teams you have to build, what kind of personalities you're looking for in players, and what kind of skills you're looking for in players. And I'm not gonna lie, I do think I figured out the secret to winning Super Bowls in the NFL. I will link that video down below if it's something you're interested in checking out. But one thing that is vital to winning that I didn't mention in that video is having that player with the it factor. That Michael Jordan, that Tom Brady, that Kobe Bryant, that Derek Jeter, just that one guy who you can depend on not only to be a star and put up numbers, but lead your team when the going gets rough. Or tough, I don't really know how that saying goes. But anyways, Deshaun Watson can absolutely be that guy, and he already is. If you want to just sit back and watch a football player be amazing at what he does and just appreciate the art, Deshaun Watson is the guy whose highlights you want to pull up. As I prepped for this video a little bit, I set aside a couple of highlight tapes and his playoff games from 2020, and it turned into about a 2-hour film study session of me watching Deshaun Watson, sacrificing my precious time that I set aside every night to watch The Wire. And I've got to tell you, even as someone who watches a lot of Deshaun Watson as he is one of my favorite players, I am still just blown away about how great his game is. I like to think of sports as an art form, and Deshaun Watson has perfected his art form. And as an artist, the most striking part about his work is his ability to improvise. I put him in the upper echelon of improviser QBs in the NFL, along with Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, and Carson Wentz. And he might just be better at simply making plays than any of those guys, although that is certainly up for debate. He is the definition of a no, yes guy, and you just never know quite how he pulls off the shit he does. So if you haven't been able to tell by now, I really love Deshaun Watson. We have seen guys with this ability to make something out of nothing before. Michael Vick, Cam Newton, and Big Ben come to mind for me, but that doesn't always translate to having the it factor, which is really important if you want to win Super Bowls. And I think Deshaun Watson has it. Now, before we go any further, let me give you my definition of the it factor, and by the way, this actually goes for all sports for me. A player with the it factor is a player who can win at all costs. He can put a team on his back and will them to victory even when everything else isn't going according to plan. He is a leader of men and his teammates respond to his energy. His talent alone is enough to carry him, but his intangibles elevate him. And I say Deshaun Watson fits every single bit of the criteria laid out there to a T. There is just something about the way he carries himself that when the time comes, you just know he's going to make that big play. As an example, you can go to one of his most recent games, the wildcard game against the Buffalo Bills in this past postseason. The Texans were down 16-0 with time winding down in the third. Deshaun was struggling and so were the Texans. The ball was just not moving. Then, like all the great ones with the it factor do, Deshaun flipped the switch. It still wasn't pretty and the Bills' defense was tenacious, but he found the ways to make big plays even when his protection was collapsing and his wideouts weren't getting open all the time. He delivered the two biggest plays of the game with a touchdown to Carlos Hyde and a 20-yard touchdown run, as well as getting his team into field goal range to send the game to overtime. His improv skills were on full display. He took a game where nothing was going his way and turned it into a playoff win against a very good team, thanks to some help from Josh Allen, but that's another story. Regardless, Deshaun did exactly what you expect the great ones to do in that situation. He made something out of nothing. Very few quarterbacks would succeed in this situation. Some guys, not gonna name names here, get excuses like, oh, his defense was bad or his receivers can't get open, but Watson just made the best of a game that was going to shit and got the job done. That is extremely rare and a marking sign of a great quarterback. There are plenty of more games like this where Watson overcame, and to me, that is more valuable than putting up regular season passing yards or a good QBR. The moments that define quarterbacks are the ones that matter. At the end of the day, that is what we will remember. The playoff games, the fourth quarter drives, the primetime games. Has Watson been perfect there? Hell no. But he has shown that he does not and will not shy away, and his teammates respect the hell out of that. And that is what is going to make him a great quarterback for a long time in this league. Now, just because he is a great improviser and can make the best out of bad situations, does not mean he doesn't need a good team around him. And for 2020, that is really up in the air with the Texans. They just traded away his number one target, who is maybe the best receiver in the league, for an injury-prone running back, which probably won't bode too well for Watson. He did get a new target in Brandon Cooks, who will be joined by Kenny Stills and Will Fuller. Not a bad group by any means, but taking Hopkins away is really going to hurt. Those two had amazing chemistry. His offensive line, however, is very suspect, and I just hope that this doesn't hold him back from what he can truly be. He will absolutely carry this team to wins, but he can only go so far without the right pieces around him. Regardless of this season, the future is very bright for Watson, and I expect him to be at the top for years to come, and we likely haven't even seen his peak. He can adapt to wherever the NFL goes in terms of play style, and Watson has the potential to be one of the greatest ever. Sorry if that sounds rushed or maybe an exaggeration, but it's true. He has all the pieces to do so. If you are a Texan fan, soak in the moment, because you probably will never have a talent like this on your team again. He has the it factor and is ready to make even more noise. If you made it this far in the video, thanks for listening to my little rant about Deshaun Watson, and if you're new to the channel, make sure and click that subscribe button because we post really dope sports content every single day, and I can't say too much because I don't want to give the surprise away, but we are about to take a huge turn here at SemiPro, and our content is going to be 10 times crazier, so make sure you hop on this wave while it is still young. Be safe out there and have a blessed rest of your day.